Good morning,
Whoa.
everyone. I'm sorry, Curtis. I keep forgetting to fix the music. Um, I'll do that one of these days.
Oh,
But
good.
it seems like I'm getting used to it now. So that's my goal. Is by the time I fix it, you'll be like,
Then
oh,
I'm gonna
put
be
the slow
like,
one back.
where's the slow part?
All right, everybody, welcome to Shooting the Shelf here on the Just Shelve It channel. I am Jesse Arnold, and with me, as always, my stalwart co-host, Curtis Ackerman, back in the chair. How you doing tonight, Curtis?
I am doing excellent. Before we go any further, I just want to say I did have surgery this past Monday. A lot of people in the community reached out to me to see how I was doing. I've been doing very well. Right as of right now, I'm, almost pain free. Got some gas pains and some muscle soreness here and there, but for the most part, it's going really well. So thank you for everybody that reached out, and yeah, I'm just excited about tonight's show.
Me too, and we got some folks lined up in the comments, and Joe. Thanks, Joe. Well, it was a busy week. Had RetroCon last week. Lots of catching up on my own stuff here at home this week. Painting, getting everything ready for Legion's Con. I do want to say this real quick before we bring on our guest. All you folks are running out of time. I think there's a little less than 2 hours left to jump over to sourcehorseman.com. If you want to get in your Ox Crew pre-order directly from the Four Horsemen, you can do that there. I think you have until 11 p.m. Eastern tonight. So just under 2 hours from now, Source Horseman for your Ox Crew book one wave, if you want to check that out.
And pre-orders are a really exciting period. So I hope that there's something fun to do. Like, that pre-order is ending. I hope that there's something else to keep us occupied afterward.
I mean, I don't know. If I was a betting man, I would say probably not, but you never know.
Yeah, maybe later in the show we might have some information on something.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. See, that's why I don't bet.
Yeah, there you go.
Horrible. I'm horrible at making bets.
For those of you that have tuned in for our big special announcement, we will do that at the top of this next hour. So, which would be, what is that, 10 o'clock Eastern? We did want to give our guest some time to, kind of interview him, ask him some questions, get into some of his work, because we didn't want people just coming in, seeing the announcement and taking off and not seeing this amazing artist's work. So we'll be doing that in a little less than an hour from now. But stick around for that because it's going to be pretty exciting. But while you're here, if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe. We're really trying to get to 500 subscribers right now so that we can do another cool giveaway that we have planned after that. So, and with that, I just want to call out some folks in the chat. We do have Brick Something, Dave Orkin, Jordan, Joe Gonzalez, Carver Customs, Patrick Boyle's in the house, JMax77, Kirby Smith, Eric LeBron. Eric had a lot of great things to say about our guest yesterday on Saturday Day Live. If you guys didn't check out that show, it is available on Hedgehog Action's YouTube channel. Love that Saturday Day Live, so make sure you check that out. We got T. Bellet, Simon is here, Nate Strong, Dork Layer, Eduardo, and Douglas Tupper, and Ray Paz, and some Just Shelve It person. Oh, and Oz. So I think I got everybody there.
Welcome, everybody. We are very happy that you're here, whether you're watching live or if you're catching this on the replay. Obviously, we can't see you commenting on the replay. At least if you comment, it wouldn't be in the live chat. So thanks for being here. Trevor just jumped in, 1-6 shooter. Ooh. What's up, sir? But yeah, let's give our usual awesome round digital applause of welcome, because I'm just throwing all the worlds out there for our guest tonight, Sig Henriquez. Welcome to the Shelve.
Hi guys.
How's it going,
everybody?
Sig?
Cabal above all.
There. Long living Cabal.
Always.
So
how's everybody?
Sig, we are excited to have you. I know.
Thank you.
You know, we'll get into your work later. Pull up your Instagram, look at some of your pictures. I know I really kind of found you from your centuries that you've been doing and all your cosmic stuff. Which I mean, it's just been fire after fire. So
thank you, man. Thanks. That's awesome.
Yeah, just awesome work. And you haven't been in the Cabal very long, have you?
I was in a Mythic Cabal for the entire Aether Wave and beyond. I did like a bunch.
Okay.
If you search me at Mythic Legions, you should see like my Templars and my demons.
Okay.
My skeleton, like the skeleton lady with the skeleton Morglyph with the gremlin spider body.
Gotcha.
That stuff is on there. So, but I mean, Cosmic just came out, so I ordered those Phyrexians, 2 years ago, and now everything's rolling out, and I love it. Sci-fi is my number one. Like I love Sword and Sandals. I love the wizards and everything, but sci-fi, Star Wars, Transformers, G.I. Joe, anime, Akira.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, really excited to get into your work. It has a, I think Eric was talking about it yesterday on Saturday Live and talked about it having kind of a apocalyptic vibe to it, and yeah. I can totally see that. It's one of those where it's not pretty, but it's beautiful, if that makes sense. like it's not pretty, but pretty.
I grew up on a dirty R2 unit.
Gotcha.
That changed my whole life. I'm like, the robot's dirty. Shut up, everyone.
Well, at the top of the show, we do our shelf selections, which is where we just kind of pull up some photos that inspired us through the week, some artists that we saw, and just try to shed some light on those artists. And if you're not already following them, hopefully we can get some people to follow them and just appreciate their work. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll get into your stuff here in a second. So with that, I will pull up the shelf selections. And I believe the first one is mine. And this is Randy Nerdica. And I actually saw this before last week's show, but I'd already reached my limit of shelf selections for the week. And I didn't want to throw Jesse for a tizzy. So I saved this one till this week. And I just thought this was a cool shot with the city background and the little dumpster there. And then just Rhino, kind of having the symbiote Spider-Man there by the throat. And I don't know, I just thought this was really cool. So
it is cool. That's why.
Yeah.
I like the shot, with the sky, the light like is way off in the distance. So you're back in the more shady part of the alley. It just really puts them almost in, not quite, but almost in a silhouette kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great, very threatening pose. Looks like it's right out of a comic. It's great. And
the next one was Jesse's.
Rolling with the Spider-Man theme unintentionally. This is Toys and Photography, with their entire Spider-Verse crew. I just love that the Spot has like the fedora on for some reason.
Yeah.
But I really like the Spider-Verse movie. I know we had one from Nate Strong not too long ago, his Spider-Gwen, and I just thought this was a really dynamic shot with whether that's a custom or purchase dio with all the chimneys coming together, the way they're all posed.
Mm-hmm.
It gives a lot of information like off of the characters, just the way they're posed there. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I do like the dio setup, the background, and then just the poses on the different characters. The Peter B up there with his kind of cloak or whatever, or jacket floating in the wind, and then it's just really cool. So I like this a lot.
He needs Spider Baby hanging off the Spider Bjorn in the front.
Bjorn.
Yeah.
Spider Bjorn.
All right.
Yeah.
Next one is mine, and this is posable art.
Ooh.
I believe this is David LeBron. No relation to Eric LeBron, but we've got
Are
two
you
awesome
sure? Because look
LeBrons.
at that.
Yeah, I know. And I just thought this was a really cool pose. It's like the skeleton climbing up the wall, like just getting ready to attack. He lit up the eyes a little bit there. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's really menacing. And just the pose on the skeleton, it looks very, I don't know, just like dead, creepy, crawly movie skeleton like. So
Like he's got purpose and determination. Like this isn't just like a shambling, like zombified kind of the skeleton, like it's got some
I was just talking to
tenacity
Elliot
going.
about the movement.
yeah. And Eric says, brother from another mother.
What up, bro?
No shortages of awesome LeBrons in the cabal. So
yeah, that's such a great shot.
Yeah, I like that one. And then Jesse, this one's yours.
Toy immersion. Again, seeing POD, I didn't hear the music because I had clearly the music's off, but as soon as I saw POD boom, like the song just started playing in my head. And I really like, this is the only Valaverse figure I have, this Warpath Eclipse, and I think she's a really cool figure. And this was just a really, again, a really dynamic, with kind of the kicked angle with the sparks and the dirt and everything going on there. I just thought that was a really epic, kind of like heroic cinematic shot.
Yeah, I have seen, you showed me this character that you got, and I think it's a really cool character. And then obviously in the setup here, you've got, the looks like kind of explosions going on or bullets or whatever, and some splashing that she's like running or diving through. And it's just, it's very much an action shot and looks like, a scene out of a movie. So
that
really
blurred
cool.
light is everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And the smoke and everything. So awesome, Jesse.
And just
go ahead.
The left arm, I know it's just a toy, but like the muscles on that arm, the only thing that really throws off the toy vibe is the right arm's shoulder and elbow joint. I think the rest of it really blends nicely. But yeah, just like, just epic.
And that's Toy Immersion on Instagram. This next one is mine. This is Patrick Dios, and just a really cool shot of, kind of inside the Batcave. You've got the blurred Nightwing, and I'm guessing that's Alfred in the background. I'm not sure what character that is, because it's not the Alfred from the McFarlane line. So I'm not sure what that is, but it's clearly meant to be Alfred. And then that's the Hush Batman from the Mafex line, but it does not come with a Bruce Wayne head. So I'm not sure where he got that head, but I just think that this shot of him kind of in the Batman costume, but without the cowl on and the computers in front of him, like just the whole thing is just really cool looking.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a Magneto Ian McKellen head on
yeah, I think you're right.
On a Marvel Legends suit body of some sort.
Yep.
Probably Professor X.
I can see that.
Oh, it is Professor X. I have that guy.
From the movie. And I wonder if he's reading the serial number off the nail in his hand.
I don't know. I know.
The best part of movie detecting ever done in a movie.
He's definitely analyzing something. Maybe he's putting together shark repellent. So
totally. That's what he's
doing. Let's see. Nate says, I think this version of Hush came with a Bruce Wayne. Okay. See, I've got the black one. That did not come with a Bruce Wayne head. So maybe the blue one did. Okay. Gotcha. That's really cool looking. I like that. I thought that he had thrown a custom head on there or something, but awesome. Yeah, I just like the whole setup, and it makes it really feel like this is a scene out of the Batcave.
Yeah, it's got the foreground's blurred, Batman is in focus, and the background's blurred again. That's pretty nice.
Yep. Next one is Jesse's.
I mean,
Vegas.
Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched Ahsoka this week, this is Connexus we had on a couple weeks ago, so I was really excited to see that this was his shot. But just the lighting, the silhouettes, the way he lit up the lightsabers, this was such. Even if this wasn't meant to be a reference to the scene in the show this week, this is such a great setup. It's my favorite Ahsoka in her Rebels era costume. I just thought this was really cool, and it just hit the right feels at the right time when I was scrolling through. And the way the lighting is done, the way it's kind of gradient is there, the color, it feels almost something from like a late 80s, early 90s, like nightclub or something.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the neon colors.
Hey, we're in
Yeah.
Vegas, man.
Yeah. It was the Jedi Order laser light show at the Caesar's Palace or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just a really cool shot. I have seen that episode, and yeah, this is very reminiscent of that. I like how we're only seeing the silhouettes of the character other than the lightsabers. So that's really cool. It does help to give it that very dark, gritty, movie-esque feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
So and my last one for the week is from Toy Lens on Instagram, and this is just a collection of villains, basically looking like they're scheming against Batman. They've got a newspaper there with says Batman, what does it say, Savior or Menace or something like that, and they're just kind of planning and scheming and kind of coming up with something. So I love the background. It like the walls look like they're in like an executive boardroom. So and they're at like this big like executive table. So I don't know if they rented out like an office space or something, but I love that they're just kind of gathered around having this meeting. So
they just killed somebody and took their mansion, or they're manipulating a public official and using his like public office.
Yeah, I just see them like renting out like a boardroom at like a hotel or something, and you get Clayface and Croc and Bane and everybody just walking in. Oh, I got a meeting at 9 a.m.
Dude,
Man-Bat just comes in screaming at everybody as he walks through the lobby.
Right.
That's cool that Croc is being voiced by Sean Connery.
And Jesse's last one.
This is Hannah Max. It's an outside shot, so outside shots always tend to grab my attention. But I just really liked seeing this cosmic character in a more natural environment. It kind of feels the way I have him on my shelf, where he's in Mythos. And I've got him with the weapon he's not stalking forward in that way. He's kind of standing, but in this similar pose where he's holding the handle and the chains wrapped around his other hand for that meteorite hammer. I just think that's really cool. This is a really cool shot. And just that bright blue amidst the earthy greens and grays just really, really stood out to me. So again, Hannah Max over on the Instagram.
Yeah, I like the nature shots, and then the fact that he's just kind of got that weapon like ready to attack is really cool. So
I thought that was incense. Like God bless.
Maybe he's a monk. I don't know.
Sorry.
And then so that's it for shelf selections. But we like to in the shelf selections highlight new artists, but sometimes we talk about new and upcoming YouTubers as well. And there's this one guy that he's only put out one episode of this show real quick, but his name, he goes by 16 Shooter. So you guys probably haven't heard of him, new to the game, but he's into photography, and he did this new show, Photobomb, which is toy photography best of the month. And if you like this segment of our show, the shelf selections, you will love his Photobomb episodes. It looks like it's planned to be once a month thing, and it's basically like an entire show of shelf selections, but with much better commentary because it's from like professional photographers. So they will tell you exactly like what went well, what didn't go well in terms of lighting, setup, things like that. So like I said, if you do like this segment of our show, I think you'll love that show. And all just jokes aside, Trevor is, whatever he touches turns to gold, and this is no exception. So if you haven't caught that episode yet, I highly encourage you to check it out. Some really great artists that they featured on there as well.
Ooh, a rare moment of pure sincerity from Curtis towards Trevor on the show. Remember this episode. This is a monumental episode, folks.
It's super rare. It's a good thing
Steve-O, the reason I'm perplexed is because, Curtis, you could have blurred out how many views and followers he already has.
That's true.
It would have sold or like handwritten in something to kind of oversell that he needed a boost.
Well, it is the first episode of this type of show, and I'm just telling you guys, it was pretty awesome. So I highly encourage you guys to check that out. So
he's awesome.
All right. With that, I'll put the slides away, and we will visit that again at the top of the hour for our big announcement. And Trevor is in the chat, and he says, yep, just once a month, mostly praise. Yeah. But like I said, really good insight. He had another photographer on there with him. I'm not sure if he's going to alternate guest or what, but some really awesome insight, especially like somebody like me that doesn't really, I do my best to take whatever photos I can with my phone. Just hearing how certain things were set up and why it worked was really cool. So, all right. So, go ahead, Jesse.
I was just going to, before we jump into it, anyone who's not already following SIG over on Instagram, it's area 42 _earth _station. It's going to be scrolling across the bottom there. So make sure you go. What was that?
Sorry, I should have typed it in under my name. I see you guys have it.
No, it's okay.
You're fine.
It's going to scroll across the bottom of the screen the rest of the show. So make sure you go follow his stuff over there.
There you go. And you've got a lot of like 1/18th stuff, right, on there as well? I do.
Acid Rain. I'm in love with Acid Rain. The Kit Lau, the artist that made all of this, he said his inspiration is Transformers, G.I. Joe, and Star Wars. And it so much shows in all of his stuff. If you haven't seen it, Acid Rain rocks. So good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So
look at this.
Ooh, yeah, that's cool.
She's so awesome.
That's 1/18 scale?
Yeah. I got a bunch of Acid Rain over here. Maybe I should turn this a little bit.
We'll unbiggen you until you get, there we go.
Oh, wow. Yeah. See how everything's just like dirty but awesome.
Yeah, I love the way World War II photographs look. And apparently so does the creator of this, because it's all World War II. And I mix my World War II stuff with the Acid Rain. Fits in perfectly. I don't know why. So, but I love it.
That's really cool.
And that's really cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
So how long have you been into customizing? Like I said, I know it's a lot of 1/18 scale, but what got you into it?
What got me into it was Mythic Legions.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Jeremy Gerard. At first, I thought toys were toys. I've collect toys forever. And I just thought toys were toys, and you bought them, and then that was it. So after Mythic Legions, you can pop and swap. And, I saw people doing their own dry brushing techniques and changing them around. And I bought 7 Templar Knights and made them all completely different dudes. And man, I was hooked. I love units, like building a unit, of 6 or of 8 or of 12. Yeah. So I built a Templar unit. I build a Fury Orc unit. Those are all there. And I build a Skelly unit. I just love, I don't know why I want a squad of dudes just going out there and undertaking something crazy, you know?
So speaking of your little squads, the most recent one that I've seen is your brute squad.
Oh yeah.
You wanna talk a little bit about them?
Yeah, dude. It's I have like, I don't know, 5 Cosmic Legions figures, and I keep painting heads and making them into my own little squad. I love the fact that they you can put a head on a different one and there will be a completely different soldier with just the same body. So that unifies them into that unit, but then you can decorate them with all their specialties, you know? Man, I love that sculpt. I love that Cthulhu sculpt. It's great. I tried to make it red and it came out looking like a crab, so it reminded me of Zoidberg. I was like,
that's great.
And if you still want to go with the Cthulhu headcanon, I'm huge in a story. I've always loved reading the back of the bubble card and seeing the bios. That's my Martian.
I love on these how you did like the orange accents, but then it looks like it's really worn over time. Like it was at one point, that whole thing was like a bright orange, but you see like the metal underneath shining through and stuff. Can you talk a little bit about that weathering technique that you use?
Yeah, it's really simple. I like all of my techniques to be really simple, really quick. Like, you know, when I used to watch those old Star Wars documentaries, how they did it, time and money was always an issue. So I was like, dude, that fits into my hyperactive and laziness perfectly. So I like to, you know, just hurry up and get to the point, make them camera ready is what they used to call it. So, and that's just, no one's telling me to do that. I just took it upon myself to be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this exactly with this process and there's no time to waste. I'm an artist for a living and I've learned really quick that artists don't sit around and wait for inspiration. You have to show up at 9 o'clock and do that shit every day.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to be an artist for a living, you know? So
how do you go about making it look like it's,
that's right.
It's orange, but it also has, you know, some weathering and some metal showing through and all that.
Right. So I paint the thing orange or whatever base coat it's going to be. Then it could be any color, but in this case, I painted it orange. In this case, it was a Rust-Oleum ×2 coverage orange. Some people don't like spray, some people do. I do both. I do whatever gets the job done. So in this case, it was Rust-Oleum orange, sprayed it, worked out great. I put a black wash on the whole thing. Then I took a silver Sharpie and went along and painstakingly bloop, 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 bloop. And then I did a black sponge and painstakingly went around and did that chipped thingy. But sparse, you know, it needs to look natural. I want these guys to have looked like they've gone through hell, like their experience, Band of Brothers, the whole nine. But you know, a little different each one.
That's awesome.
So a black wash and silver Sharpies is the short answer. And weathering, you know, like dry brushing on top.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have never guessed silver Sharpies. That's cool. That
Sharpies. Is. Mine just ran out of ink. I got to go buy another one. Yeah, acid rain. That's on a Star Wars tank.
Oh, yeah?
From Rogue One.
One.
It all meshes together. I love it.
That's awesome. And I love that you took the science officer head and put it on
I love
this
those
Star Wars droid body.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a cool look.
Thank you. I did it out of OCD because I was like, what am I going to do with these extra heads? And sometimes I work that way. I'm like, that's why I have so many figures. I'm like, hey, look, I have an extra head. I'll buy one more. Hey, look, I have an extra head. I'll buy one more. I need another body. It's a perpetuating system. So that when I had those extra heads for the Sentries, I'm like, I'm going to throw them on those Republic droids that I bought for no reason. And then I will incorporate them into the Brute Squad. And I was like, hey, what if the Brute Squad was used droids before they used prisoners? These are the Brute Squad, by the way, in my head canon. They're prisoners of Haval-Qatar. Did I say that right?
Yep.
And they are in you have skills like a Suicide Squad. You have skills if you want a lower sentence. You get out there and hunt down prisoners that are wanted and escaped, and they get into the bounty hunter business. So that's why that's a whole shtick behind these fools.
I love how you've got the orange as the unifying color, but then it goes between, like, you mix matte, like it's not a solid orange head to toe on the figure. Right. You've got the mixed
again
gray
OCD,
or the mixed
I
white.
use that whole can,
It looks cool. It makes it look like they've just mix matched their uniforms from like gear at the prison or whatever.
Exactly. That's
and it's orange. Yeah, that's really cool.
It's like a NASA or the Martian type of motif. But that's how you know they are convicts and they are doing this job, is with that color.
Well, and I just kind of goes with what you guys were talking about with mixing in the droids and stuff. Eric here says his mesh of different lines is phenomenal. With that in mind, Jesse, can you go back one and pull up the motorcycle that he did down a little bit further?
It's down the other way.
Yeah, keep going.
It's one of the first things I did with Mythic, so it's kind of
keep going. Right there, the close-up one of him on the left side. Click on that one and then move over one picture. Okay. So
okay.
So like this here is a bat cycle that you then added parts from, if I remember right, you added some Star Wars parts and some Gundam parts on this, and then did a full repaint of, correct?
Yes. The wheel parts are Gunpla, just like shoulder parts from a random bad guy. And those front-mounted guns are part of the STAP droid platforms, if you can see it like that.
Yeah, like from Phantom Menace, where they're like,
exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Droids have that like floating thing. Cool. Yeah. So, I mean, when it's all together like that, it looks like it was meant to go on there. Like, it looks like that is.
I know.
But it's a mix of. Yeah.
That's how I make the decisions. I put it up there and I was like, oh, man, I got to rip the STAP up. It's one of my favorite Star Wars vehicles. And I'm like, oh, and I got two of them. Sucks, dude. So
yeah, that is so cool.
Sacrifices will be made.
But it's just awesome. Neat how you have the vision to go, you know what, I'm going to steal this part from a Gundam. I'm going to steal this part from Star Wars. I'm going to do a full repaint of this McFarlane bat cycle. And now all of a sudden it does look like space apocalyptic something, to where it fits in with the aesthetic that you're trying to get with that Brute Squad.
Yeah, definitely, man. It was an accident because I wanted just a chassis to take the wheels off and have it a hover bike.
Mm-hmm.
And nice. I didn't want to get all up in there with all that major surgery. And I was like, I'm just going to make it a Space Marine bike, just like 40K. I love those.
Right.
So.
Well, and then I don't know. Let me embiggen you there, because today you showed something, and I don't know if you could show that behind you there, where you had just gotten some foam from a new TV, and like within a day turned that into like a base of operations for these folks.
Yeah, it's just a flat screen TV package foam, and I've done it a million times. I did it over here for the background of Acid Rain. That's all styrofoam. And over here for the Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So for those that didn't see that in the Cabal, it was basically just white styrofoam, and he looked at it and goes, yeah, I know exactly what to do with this, and had the vision to create this with it. And it looked like it was pretty quick. Like you had showed me the foam, and I think within a day you had this all together.
Yeah, all you do is cut it up to fit whatever the heck you want it to, or the configure it however you want, and then I paint it all black. If I then I dry brush it, whatever color. In this case, it was mustard yellow, and then I did all the details with a black Sharpie. This is all so easy to do, and it's all disposable. I narrowed my dioramas down to display shelves. So all I need is a background and a shelf to display my dudes, and I'm done. So all that shit is garbage, dude. You can just toss it when you want to change it. Garbage.
And I think you said the total price on that was the total price was $350.
It was $350, y'all. Which it gives you, I ordered another Sentry because I had that extra money.
Yeah.
Felt like the right thing to do.
Well, I mean, I can only hope, because I found behind my apartment a couple weeks ago, I found the long pieces of foam from a flat screen TV that I grabbed, and I'm going to use for my Cosmic Dio at Legion's Con. So hopefully I can pull it off and have it come even remotely close to looking as cool as that thing.
Well, if it has cool shapes, use those. And when you paint it black and dry brush it, those shapes will pop out, and that'll be your form. And then you could decorate those forms however you want. You could drip wires from them, put mesh on them. You could put doors. There's 3D printed doors that they sell on eBay that look like Star Wars blast doors. You can get PVC pipe, use straws, and pipe it all up. Tarps. You can do anything. It's just your imagination's your limit.
It's going to be a cross section of a spaceport, so it's going to be vertical. So it's going to have like multiple levels.
Nice.
And but yeah, it's just cool. I was like, all right, cool. I'm not crazy, because I used to do that when I was a kid. We'd get a new piece of equipment or something at home.
Yeah.
And or if I was with my stepdad on a job and I was still young enough to play with toys, like I'd be like, can I take that styrofoam? He's like, why? I was like, I'm gonna play with it. Oh, whatever. And, I'd like get the markers out and like draw computer screens or whatever. And
what? Dude, you're ahead of the game. I used to play on my dirty laundry. It was a mountain, I used to go outside, and I used to spend entire summers at the base of this crazy big gnarly tree that had the most gnarly root system poking out.
Nice.
Oh, and I was poor. I had one Viper GI Joe, and he would go through hell on that base of that tree. It was amazing. An entire summer.
That's awesome.
I do have a question here from Brick something. He was asking, what adhesive or glue did you use on that bike to connect the other parts to the McFarlane bike? Gorilla Glue?
Okay. Yeah. I used to use Loctite for everything. All of my prior customs were all Loctite, but half of those bottles came down my arm. So this is gel. You just put it on your part, and it'll stay wherever you put it. Really good gel. Use it now.
And then he also asked, did you sand any of it first?
I do not. Lazy man.
Hey, if it works.
Yeah. If something's giving me a problem, I do something about it, and it's usually roughing it up or putting. I just saw a guy on YouTube, which is genius. He would put a piece of tiny little cloth or paper in between two stubborn parts as a catalyst. It was awesome.
That works.
Yeah, it did work.
Thanks.
And then Douglas is calling out Jesse for dumpster diving for styrofoam. So
it was in the alley. There was no dumpster. I'm not above it though.
Yeah, hey, whatever you got to do, man. Free's free. So
I've done that. I've been driving home from work, and I'm like, I'm gonna be on somebody's Ring camera.
Yeah. So I know before the show you had talked about watching a lot of YouTube videos and picking up tricks from different artists and stuff. Can you talk to us a little bit about what that journey has been like, and how those kind of tools can help you as you progress?
Well, I started with those original Star Wars documentaries, and like me, they used a bunch of old model kits and started throwing things together and whatever. So I knew how to do all of that. What I needed help with was painting techniques and ideas on how to carve foam and terrain elements around those spaceships and figures that I was building. So then those, just one by one, man, a lot of them, how to create terrain, how to weather a model tank, how to weather cloth, how to make cloth look hard, how to build custom figures. I watch a lot of Mythic Conversations. I watch a lot of Warhammer tutorials on miniatures. I watch a lot of prosthesis for movies, miniature sets. Fawn Davis, I'm a big fan of him. Look him up if you don't know. Adam Savage, the Craft It, the One Day Builds, Wetworks, all their videos. Dude, Neil Blomkamp and all those guys, the way they make stuff is a huge influence on what I like to make,
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, we live in a great time where you've got all this information at your fingertips. I mean, we've talked about, I know me personally starting into customizing and stuff, I had no art background. I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't draw, I didn't paint, I didn't, I didn't like art class. I thought it was stupid. Yeah. And so getting into this stuff, I had no concept of like color theory on any of this kind of stuff, but you've got like the world at your fingertips with YouTube and Google and everything else. And it's amazing the kind of things that you can pick up just by spending, a day to whatever, just researching and watching what other people do. And you're not going to copy or like everything that you see. There may be some things that you try and you're like, that's not really for me. But there's a lot of things that you can learn from others.
Yeah. Anything that you don't know, type it in the YouTube. It's the second biggest search engine in the world for a reason. I'm talking about fixing your car, cooking, recipes. I can make the world's greatest eggplant Parmesan, because the lady told me it was on YouTube.
Right.
You can Google it. You can put it in world's greatest eggplant Parmesan recipe, and you'll learn too.
I remember when I got my car 10 years ago, I was like, with the light bulb went out, the headlight. I was like, how do I do this? I got like the manual out. I'm looking through it. I'm like, I can't find anything. I'm like, wait, I have a phone.
Yeah.
I just hit Google, like, how do you change a headlight in a, Honda CRV? Found it. I was like, oh my gosh, that was so much easier than looking through that stupid book.
Right.
Totally. I'm one video away from performing open heart surgery.
There you go.
Right.
And when you said the world's greatest eggplant Parmesan, I thought of Elf when he sees like the sign, it's like world's greatest coffee, and he's like all excited for him. Like, congratulations, you did it.
That happens to me all the time. I'm like, me and my girlfriend are walking, and I'm like, dude, let's stop at this pizza place. She goes, why? I go, it says world's greatest pizza right here.
Yeah, you gotta try it.
It's the same neon sign in every store.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you too? Oh.
They sold 40,000 of that same sign.
Oh my God. You're probably right.
Beautiful. So, Jesse, I'm sorry, did you have something?
I don't know. I laughed and whatever was in my head left.
Okay. So what kind of influences, I know you said, a lot of sci-fi growing up, obviously Star Wars was a big one. Were there any other like real influences from your youth that find their way into your work?
Dude, I don't know about find the way into my work, but Transformers is a huge influence on me. I'm freaking out over the fact that there's like aliens from millions of years ago living far away, and that rolls into Star Wars.
Yep.
So that is very the reason why I'm attracted to Cosmic Legions so much. I love the fact that these are brand new worlds and, you know, different aliens, and the prison system is awesome because that's a treasure trove of ideas. There could be so many different kinds of prisoners there. And then to crash on an alien planet, that's another one, you know. And then what are they going to do next? And then a galactic diner, like, you're just going to have so many ideas to throw in so many different kinds of aliens, just like the bar in Star Wars.
Yep.
And so that's my big influences right there, is like aliens that Enemy Mine, frack. That's awesome. The Last Starfighter.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, yeah. So
and now I want after they do the Thraxius series, the Ox Crew series, I want an outpost wave that's like a cosmic Waffle House. Like
that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
You've got all sorts of, you know, you got the staff, you've got like the biker gang or whatever coming through. You've got like the security. You've just got the people who are just trying to get dinner because they're on a road trip.
Yeah.
It's the only thing open.
Like Spaceball style though, not like freaking Clone Wars style.
Yeah.
Well, since
Dexter,
we've got if we're gonna have a Waffle House for Cosmic and we've got the Thraxian Scout, it's just a matter of time before we get lot lizards then. So that'll be nice.
I just want to recreate that scene from that video last summer, the fight starting and the woman like catches the chair like midair and just like
yeah.
That's
awesome.
Crazy.
Steven just said that, complete with chairs to throw.
There you go.
Gotta have chairs, man.
Beautiful.
Oh man. Well, we're getting close to the hour mark, but before we do that, I'm going to jump back into your Facebook page because I'm seeing something here, or your Instagram. This, it looks like, is this Ironheart with Domino Head?
That is not Ironheart. That is a Domino Head on a Pacific Rim body. Okay. Ironheart I use for her partner.
Okay.
There's another character with Ironheart's body and what's her name? Valhalla's head, Valkyrie's head.
Ah, nice.
So, I don't know if you
I saw this out of the corner of my eye, and it just immediately made me think of what's her name from Edge of Tomorrow, Emily Blunt's character, where she's got like
you're right, dude. The angel
the
of
helicopter
Verdun,
blade.
brother.
Yeah,
Angel of Verdun. She's badass. You're totally right. That makes me think of her too. Except she kills evil robots. See, like you see here, instead of. So this is a custom for a comic book that I'm making called "We Kill Evil Robots." So that's Ironheart's body with Valkyrie's head. So they're partners and they kill evil robots. They were engineered for that reason. These evil robots are coming from the future and trying to mess with us. So they're trying to put a stop to it, fighting for humanity. They're the first anti-AI heroes.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Besides Sarah.
And you said this is a comic you're working on?
Yeah. If you go to We Kill Evil Robots, one word, on Instagram, you'll find it.
So just to recap,
I want to read that.
You got customizing, photography, comic books, dios, anything that you're not doing?
I'm not, I don't have an OnlyFans page.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Once we get Van on your set, he'll be begging you for an OnlyFans.
Yeah, dude, I just love art. I'm an artist. I paint UFC mats for a living. That's what my bread and butter is. All the logos on a UFC mat. That's how.
Wow.
Yeah, and my partner work. So that's what I do daily, and then I come home and do this. I paint murals on the side. I do my own comic books and stuff like that. So just like all I want to do is worry about art, and thank God that's what I'm doing.
Well, there's no stay in your lane for you. You are the highway.
No sounds like you're having a lot of fun with it too, though.
You have to. You have to make your own fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because I know Brick, we've talked about this on some of the shows I've done with him and some other people, like the toys. And I know Curtis, we were talking, I think, on the show last week. or maybe it was, I don't remember, but just the play, especially, I mean, obviously we love Mythic and Cosmic Legions and the Four Horsemen stuff because of the pop and swap and the built-in. You don't want to just leave it on your shelf. But then you get someone like you who, like, you've got your Star Wars stuff, you got your Joy Toy stuff, and like none of it's safe. It's all fodder for whatever your imagination falls on that day.
Yeah. People are always like, man, how can you do that to that expensive figure? I'm like, what? It was not done.
It wasn't finished.
I finished it. Dude, I completely custom painted Classics Castle Grayskull. It's on there somewhere online.
Okay.
People are like, whoa, did you? I'm like, yeah, dude. Now it looks like what's his name's box art that changed my life.
Nice.
When I was freaking 10, I was like blown away by all of that box art. Now my castle looks exactly like that, which is what I've been wanting for 30 years.
Curtis already asked you about like what got you into starting customizing. When you decided to do your first bit of custom stuff, I mean, clearly you've already been doing art, so like it wasn't stepping into art for the first time. But the first time you like took a figure apart and mix match the pieces together, like, was there like apprehension? Like, do I know, what am I doing here? Like, did you have that? Oh, this was expensive, or did you just like, nope, it's all my imagination. Let's have fun.
No, I looked at it when, like I said, I used to watch Mythic Conversations before I ever bought one, and the Amazing Photographer channel on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So those guys are like, you could do this, you could do that, you could do another. I'm like, I'm game. I'm gonna buy a Fury Orc, and I'm gonna see what I could do. At first, I'm gonna enjoy it for what it is for a while. Mm-hmm. Then I bought a bunch of Fury Orcs, and I'm like, can't have twinsies. This is the Fury Art clone show. So I just did like its entire demon group, and it was gnarly. It was amazing. I was like, all these different demons. There was two-headed ones and knights on horseback, or those. I had them on Tarbosaurs, which are real dinosaurs, but I used to call them Thunder Lizards. I had a bunch of different Mythic Legions on different Jurassic Park mounts, and they looked amazing. So it was like a rabbit hole. I dove head first, and then I did a unit of Templars and a unit of the Jeremy's customs is what got me started on customizing my own through Mythic Legions. Okay.
Well, that makes sense too, because I was going to say that makes sense because Jeremy uses a lot of fodder pieces from other lines, and that very much seems to be kind of what you do. Like even the heads that you're talking about using, at least I've noticed, a lot of the heads that you use, they're not 3D printed heads from a company that you paint up. They're usually heads from another toy line. So, like, are you going and searching for those things, or these things that are already in your collection that you're just kind of tearing apart?
Both. Like, I go to toy stores a lot. I browse on eBay. I'm like, hey, this head's only $7. That's how I got this leader head. I'm like, look at that Martian. This is a classic Martian. And I got this 3D printed. You guys know this guy. So I got that, and that leader head. I'm like, look at this Martian.
Where did that chest insert come from?
That is a little vent on a miniature. It was from a.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah, it was like a little power box air conditioning thing.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I only have those ropes on his shoulders because his pauldrons that I ordered aren't here yet. But this jetpack configuration with this body, I think it needs pauldrons, so I went and got some. I got the Barbarian Builder ones, should suffice, and I'll paint them up.
Oh, nice.
So, and this is my avatar, and I think like these two dudes, one's an Earthling, one's a Martian. These two dudes are the only guys from the solar system that are in the Brute Squad. So they're like, wait, what's up, buddy? Same hood.
That's awesome. Oh man.
But anyway, that head was like $7. And I was like, what? I can't remember the last time I paid $7 for anything. You know?
There you go.
Besides Kurt throwing me free stuff.
Hey man, I had to contribute to the collection, and I love that Sentry figure so much, and what you've been doing with them has been nothing short of amazing. So
much fun. That's another unit that I'm building, is that Brute Squad thing, you know, and it's only like 6 figures, and with all these rotating heads, I got another Sentry on the way to accommodate another head. But man,
very cool.
Awesome. I love it.
Awesome.
It's great storytelling. I care about that the most. Like,
I mean, you're doing it with everything. And again, to kick it back to Mythic Legions and Cosmic Legions, like the creativity in the story they have themselves, but then just how much they encourage the fans and collectors and just the whole community that you were talking about before the show started to flesh out all your own stuff. Like I said, you're just going off the deep end with everything, which is amazing.
Yeah, don't put a quarter in me. I swear, I take everything to the nth level. I've tamed that somewhat. I've owned every Transformer like 4 times. Every Transformer that's ever made, third party. It's ridiculous, dude. My brother came into my house once, and there's like walls and walls of Transformer. He goes, "This is ridiculous." So I was like, you might be right. I gotta check into that.
Excuse me. Did you bring this? You brought this back up, Curtis?
I was just showing the art while we were talking. I know we're getting to the top of the hour. Did you want to kind of cue up the next part of the conversation?
Yeah. So this started. Was it 2 weeks ago? After the show, we were talking about stuff.
Yeah, I think it was when Henriquez was on.
Yeah. And that was a great show. If any of you watching have not watched that or not aware of Henriquez, he was one of the Shelve picks this week. Really cool guy. Really dig what he's doing in his community and all that stuff. So check that one out. A couple episodes ago.
I mean, it kind of started where he was using art to connect to his family as well as to connect to these, children that had maybe some troubles and stuff. And it was just really cool to hear, how he was using that art to connect people. And we got into a discussion afterwards. So go ahead and take from there, Jesse.
That was awesome. I was like intimidated when he did all that good work. Like, I have all Planet of the Apes on DVD. That's it. My biggest contribution to humanity.
And we just started talking, and credit goes mostly to Curtis on this. Like I'm a sounding board for ideas bounce back, but a lot of this came from his idea and his stuff, and but it was just really cool. And we started talking about like how we got into customizing, and like our first customs, what they looked like, what we're at now. We started not quite at the same time, and it just got us thinking about how how much customizing and paint, just putting paint on a full figure as it is, like a builder or something, can just really change what you're looking at. And with a lot of new people coming into the Cabal and into collecting mythics and cosmic and figure obscura and stuff, we just came up with this idea. Originally, I think we were calling it My First Custom, and then it shifted. We came up with some other things. So we just really wanted to encourage, like you're talking about, like the creativity. That's why I asked about, like, was there apprehension in taking apart that first figure and gluing stuff together, to kind of help encourage people to get into customizing if that's something they're wanting to do.
Well, and we've talked a lot, Jesse, about our own struggles with anxiety and kind of mental disorders and that kind of thing, and how this community and this hobby has really helped us. And not only that, but just, it's a great way to pass the time. It's a way to have fun and be imaginative and show that imagination in your work, which I think is something that's really on display tonight with Sig and his work. And so we just want to encourage some people to get into this and not be afraid of, what your art talent level is or any of that, but just kind of get everybody into painting and starting to customize. The pop and swap contests have been amazing. Legion's Lounge did a great job kicking that off. They've had a couple rounds of that pop and swap now. Ish just had a very successful contest with that. And that's been great because I think it's shown some people how to, mix and match the parts and doing all that kind of stuff. And now we just want to take it to the next level and get some people to start putting some paint on it. And with that, I'll pull up this little logo that you created, Jesse. So what do we got here?
Put some paint on it.
So
you need a theme song for this.
Is the first like official promo contest giveaway thing from Shooting the Shelf. Got a lot of collaborators we'll get to on this, but we're just calling it hashtag Paint It Up. Since I'll let you run through the rules because my mind is now going blank looking at this rabbit skeleton.
That's fine. So here's what we're gonna do. The purpose of this really is to get people to pick up a paintbrush, but everybody is allowed to be involved in this. So if you've been painting for 30 years, that's fine. You can enter this contest. If you've never painted before, you can enter this contest. This contest is literally for everybody in the Cabal. And what you're going to do is you're going to post a picture of one of your first custom paint jobs in the Mythic Legion Cabal. Doesn't have to be a Legion's figure. It can be anything. So if you started customizing, for me, it was 8 years ago, and you started on a dollar figure that you got from Goodwill, you can post a picture of that. You just need to make sure that you use that hashtag Paint It Up and put it in the Cabal, and you will be entered into this contest. This is not a where we're judging your art talent. By putting that in, putting a picture, putting the hashtag, you are entered into the contest, and all the winners and prizes will be a random draw. So it's going to be on the spin of a wheel. So literally anybody can join this. If you've never painted anything before, you can pick up a figure, paint some rivets, paint a belt, dry brush some pauldrons, whatever you want to do, and post a picture of that and say, hey, this is the first time I've ever picked up a paintbrush and put it on a figure. Here's my entry, hashtag Paint It Up. You are entered into the prize. So as far as prizes, we have a crap ton of prizes. So when this first happened, we reached out to Walter and Cullen in the Cabal, kind of talked about what we were trying to do. We then reached out to our good friend Len from Wolf King Customs, and he encouraged us to talk to Jeremy, which I did. And man, Jeremy came through. They sent us a whole bunch of figures to use for giveaways. We then reached out to the third-party community, which we're going to talk about some of our people that have donated from the third-party community. But the response was, I would say, Jesse, overwhelming, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I mean, the amount of people that wanted to contribute to this was staggering. So we have, I would venture to say we've got more prizes in this contest than any other contest that's been going on in the Cabal. And, I don't know of one that's had more prizes than what we're going to have. So just be aware. The winners of the contest will get a figure and parts that go with it. So it'll basically be like a ready-made custom. It'll have the figure and the parts to make a custom together. And we're putting these packages together. So the third-party companies are sending us parts. Four Horsemen sent us some figures. I have quite a few figures in my garage that I was going to, put up for this as well. And we're just kind of creating the most unique packages that we can. That's kind of like that ready-made custom, ready to go. So the winners will receive those packages. And then the contest will run until October 6th at midnight. So, that's basically the gist of the contest. But just to kind of give you an idea of what we're talking about, I'm going to show you this, which is my first paint job that I did. This is 8 years ago. I picked up a figure for $1 at Goodwill. It was a Solomon Grundy figure that had, I believe, 1 point of articulation, which was a waist twist, and that was it. And I turned it into a Lich King from World of Warcraft. all of this stuff that's on it that I was epoxy sculpt. And, you know, I was happy with it. I enjoyed myself. I had a great time. I look at this now and I go, I could do a lot better than this. But it's not about the quality of the work. It's not how great it comes out. It's the fact that you get started. And that's what we're really talking tonight is we want people to get started. So we're encouraging the folks that have been customizing for a while to post one of these earliest paint jobs so that you can see that, you know, myself, Jesse, Stephen Bishotti, Zombie 13, Eric Miller, you know, Emil Wickman, they didn't start out as fantastic painters or artists. You know, everybody starts somewhere, and you're going to have, you know, maybe something that's less than amazing right from the get-go, but you're going to have fun and you're going to get better and you're going to really enjoy the hobby, or at least I think you will. So this one is mine. Here's one of Jesse's. I don't know, Jesse, if you want to talk about that.
So Emma Frost, first and foremost, will always be a villain for me. I don't like that they made her a hero. That's a whole other conversation for another day, probably with Matt Rod. The black suit version they did for Marvel Legends I thought was really cool, but I wanted this version of her. And this was before they announced the box set, like a year after I made this. So this was the alternate head that came with her. So that head is just official from Marvel or Hasbro, but that's a Sue Storm body that I base coated and painted all this stuff in there. I mean, it basically looks like a spandex skin suit with white on it. And the cape is actually one of my socks. It's just,
dude, that's what I do.
It's just an ankle sock, and I like the frill around her shoulders was like the thick part of the top of the sock. Now this was not my first custom. I did do D&D minis before this. I did do some like pops that I had customized, but this was like the first action figure I had ever done. And you know, it was the joints, you know, if you bend any of those joints, you're going to see the black or the blue, whatever's underneath her from the Sue Storm body. But yeah, so not the best, but it was good enough for my shelf at the time.
Yeah.
And like I said, like a year later, Hasbro put out like that 4-pack box set of the Hellfire Club. And I'm like, well, all right, this is going in the box.
And Jesse said, now I'm short one sock for the rest of my life. So
better than the dryer getting it.
Yeah, that's true. So
hey, it wasn't a dirty sock. It was a clean sock. My socks smell clean after they get washed.
So
after she wears it, it's dirty.
Once again, the idea here is just, you know, this isn't an art contest. This is not something that we're judging, you know, how well things come out. In fact, in my opinion, the uglier the better, because this is all about starting. So, you know, we just, like I said, if you've got a picture of your very first custom, like I do, great. If you've got something that's not the first one, but it's an early paint job that you did, whatever, just post it in the Cabal, put the hashtag painted up, and you are entered. So with that, I do want to show some of the prizes. We don't have all of the prizes shown here. We're going to reveal those kind of as we go throughout the contest. But I wanted to show you the first 5 like packages that we've put together. So first of all, these are all of the companies that have donated to this contest. So you've got Four Horsemen Studios. Obviously, they donated several figures, so we really appreciate that. Then from the third-party print companies, we've got Wolf King Customs. We've got Anthony Houseal over at the Toy Forge. We've got Mythic Bits from Chris Ferrone. Noble Bear, Immortal Collections, Detour Customs, CB Make, Monster Machine Creations, which is Jeremy Wilson, Kingpin Customs, Von Burke Studios, and then the Forge Collection. So, like I said, huge response from the community. There's going to be a ton of prizes. This is not one that you're going to want to miss out on, because there's going to be a lot of winners, and you have a pretty good chance of getting something. So, and really, like I said, it's all about getting people to start in this hobby and pick up a paintbrush and have some fun. So here is the first prize package, which we're labeling as prize package A. All of the prize packages will have letters associated with them. So in this prize package, you will get a brand new Dark Templar, and then it'll also come with this shield. This is all from Wolf King Customs. It's going to come with the shield. It'll come with that Crucible Knight head that was sculpted by Emil Wickman, as well as a sword. So all of the pieces and the figure will be part of that package from Wolf King Customs. So that is now, package A. Go ahead.
While we're going through these real quick, I don't know if you already said this or not. I apologize if I'm repeating. We tried to pick stuff that if you are new to painting would not be intimidating if you were nervous about doing like human flesh tones or eyes or super detailed stuff. So, we tried to pick stuff that would be more apt to encourage beginners, because like you said, there's some people that have been doing this for decades. Some people haven't even picked up their first paintbrush to do this yet, and hopefully this encourages more than a few.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of try to put packages together that were suitable for all level of skill. So whether you're a brand new painter, this should offer you something that you can do effectively. If you're an experienced painter, you're still going to find value in this as well. So, once again, this contest literally is for everybody in the Cabal. We really want to see a lot of contestants in here. So that's prize package A. This is prize package B. And the parts were donated from the Toy Forge. You've got all of these dwarf parts. So it's got a torso, 2 wrist gauntlets, a couple different feet, and then the sword and a bearded head that will also come with a deluxe Legion Builder dwarf with it. So once again, just an entire kind of ready-made custom, ready to go. That is package B. Next, we've got this one is from CB Make, which is Brian C. You will be getting a sentry, as well as that head. It's got a couple different of the wrist attachments, which is like a flashlight, and then the other one, I'm not sure if it's a gun or some other sort of tri-light or something.
Is that what that is? A flashlight? That square one?
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was. He sent it to me with the backpack free.
Yeah.
But I put it on this gun like.
Oh, nice! Like a little scope or something, or
yeah, like some sort of computer. Like I'll never miss.
There you go.
And then it also comes with this kind of space revolver type gun. So this would be price package C. So once again, you get the figure, you get the parts. And we appreciate all of these third-party vendors for their donations, as well as the Four Horsemen. This is package D. This is from Mythic Bits. This one includes the Tusk Engineer, as well as 3 different cosmic heads.
They look like the Marx Brothers.
Yeah, they're
awesome.
They're similar. They have similar masks, but different, kind of hair and helmet styles. So you could pick which one you want to do, or you could do all 3 and alternate them out. But this is package D. And then the package E here is from Monster Machine Creations, which is Jeremy Wilson. And it is sick. One of the Ogrenaut heads and shoulders with a half giant. I know a lot of people use the Ogrenaut and paint it green and put it with an ogre. We did not have one of those readily available, but I did have a half giant from the Deluxe Legion Builder wave. But you can do a half giant Ogrenaut with some tusk. It's still cool.
Half giant Ram Man. This is awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
So those are the first 5 prize packages. We have many more, trust me. And what we're going to do is each day of the contest, we're going to announce another one until we've run out of all of our prize packages. So starting tomorrow, I know Jesse's going to put out a post tomorrow with, the actual contest rules and everything. And we can start, participating in the contest. I'm sure he'll also put these first 5 prizes in there. And then each day after that, I will post a new prize package so that you can kind of see as we go along what prizes are going to be available. Once it's done, what we're going to do, so the contest ends on the 6th, and later that weekend, what we're going to do is have a wheel with all the names of everybody that participated in the contest, and we're going to have a wheel of all the prizes. It's not going to be an elimination wheel. We're going to literally spin the wheel of names. Whoever it lands on wins, and then we'll spin the wheel of prizes, and that's the prize they get. And we'll just keep doing that back and forth until we've gone through all of the prizes that are available. So
I think that technically is an elimination wheel.
Well, we're not going to like elimination wheels. Usually they're eliminating names and taking the names off the wheel, and then whoever's left is. So we're doing a winner wheel. Elimination.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
When it lands on your name, normally it's a bad thing. You want it to land on your name on our wheel. So
gotcha. Now, this is, just to refresh, this is in the Mythic Legions Cabal on Facebook is where you're doing this. If you do more than one hashtag, that's fine, because we want to see the creativity, but you're only going to get entered once.
Correct.
So you're not going to get disqualified if you do multiple, but once per person.
Yep.
Will get entered.
And that's paint it up.
Yep. Paint it up.
Paint it up.
Yep.
Paint.
If we'll have to talk if anyone international, we might have to have a kind of we'll figure that off.
I got it. I got shipping covered. Okay. I know I've already started putting prize packages together. I've got a stack of boxes like 5 foot tall over by my front door of prize packages that are already ready, and we've got more prize packages to go. So I know this one's going to cost a little bit on shipping, but we're just going to try to have some fun. So
Curtis is a baller like that.
So yeah, this is you can start doing it now. I mean, please stay and hang out with Sig for the rest of the show. But you can start posting these in the Cabal. Yeah, Patrick, you can share original along with new set. That's totally cool.
As long as you have a painted picture and the hashtag in the Cabal, you're golden. Yeah, but we really would encourage, especially the very experienced artist, to show something that is not their best work, so that the people that are kind of intimidated, because they see the stuff in the Cabal that these great artists do, and they go, oh man, I'm not at that level. Just know that everybody wasn't amazing when they first started. So if you're an experienced painter and you've got something less than great, that would be ideal in my mind. So, and
I'm immediately regretting making you choose this hashtag.
Paint it.
Yeah, capitalization is very important here. It's paint and then it and then up. So
no, capitalization doesn't matter.
And,
not for a hashtag anyway.
Yeah, this is the main picture for the contest. So, these are all on the left and right side are all the folks that donated to this. And
who's that beautiful man right there pictured?
That would be me at the bottom. But the beautiful man that just joined chat is Walter the Mad. Appreciate you joining, Walter. Just talking about this amazing contest that you're letting us run in the Cabal. And we are super excited. Lots of prizes. And we're just hoping to generate a lot of excitement for this and get some people to pick up that paintbrush and just have fun with this. So, and that's all I had. Jesse, anything else that you want to say on the contest before we move on with the rest of the interview?
I just want to encourage everybody to have fun with it, whether you've been doing it for a long time or you've never picked up a brush to paint a figure before, but you've been thinking about it. Like I saw, and I think it doesn't have to be, did we specify it did not have to be a mythic or a cosmic figure, right?
It does not. Any paint
if
job
it is
that you've done.
Cool. But yeah, if you've done a paint job on a figure or custom, and make sure you still follow the Cabal rules of, community guidelines, all that jazz. Don't post up, extremely gory or nudity, that, all that sort of stuff. So stick with the group rules too. But yeah, just have fun with it. If you've been debating or you've been doing it and you've just been nervous to share with anybody, just do it. Like,
that's the worst thing you could do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just
There's
start.
no such thing as over posting. Take it from me.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
unless you are literally just doing it for you, like if you don't feel like sharing because you want to keep it private and you just do it for you, I mean, that's entirely your own thing.
Yeah.
But like
Selfish as it may be.
painting, yeah, like painting, like Curse was saying, this has become a real, like it was that way with minis, but with the bigger figures, getting into do it and listening to the music and the stories and all this stuff creating are completely just spontaneous to whatever parts I'm putting together. Has been like has really helped with the anxiety, depression, all that sort of stuff. And I've heard a lot of people say similar things since I started doing this and joining this community and everything. So it's a way to play with your toys without feeling like, I think it's a way to play with your toys without feeling like it's something to be ashamed of. Because, a lot of people think, like, oh, look at these grown men playing with toys or whatever. Like, you know what? There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. And especially if you're engaging in your creativity and your imagination, a lot of stuff that, through school you got to do, but once you got into college and working a job, all that stuff kind of gets crushed. I'm really going on a ramble here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it keeps you young at heart.
Preach. Preach.
Yeah.
But, like getting to let that creativity come back out, a lot of people, a lot of folks, especially in modern society, like lose that connection to that inner child, that creativity. And, losing the inner child is not a good thing. Like being childish and constantly immature and not knowing when to like hold back a fart joke is a different thing. But I mean, there's, I don't want to say balance,
especially when it turns into a shark joke.
Well, is it really a joke?
My
at
wife
that
is
point?
going to kill me for.
I did want to really quick pull up this question from Steve-O. Full figure, weapon or head, anything. Steve-O, anything. If you paint some rivets on a figure, if you paint some stripes on a piece of armor, if you dry brush some pauldrons, if you paint a full head, if you paint a full custom, whatever, as long as you're picking up a paintbrush and putting it onto a figure, it counts. Just post a picture of a paint job with that hashtag in the Cabal. Like I said, we just want to get people started. And for the people that have been going and that have already started, we want to show that they have started to get other people started. There's 5,000 people in the Cabal. I would be super excited if all 5,000 had an entry. So that's what we're looking.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yep.
I don't.
Instead of 5 likes a picture.
I don't. You're building the name wheel. I'm doing the prize wheel, right?
Oh, very nice.
There's nothing wrong with the fart joke, depending on the time and place for it. Farts are funny. Everybody does it. I'm all for laughing at fart jokes, but sometimes it's just not the right time for it. That's all.
Only
I'm saying.
funny at dinner.
Right.
So with all that being said, appreciate everybody, kind of listen to that spiel. If you have any questions about the contest, please throw them in the chat. We do want to get back to Sig because he does have some amazing work that we're going to talk about. And really, you're a perfect example, Sig, of what we're talking about when it comes to that imagination and letting it flow and just creating with just being imaginative. Like one of my favorite shows growing up was the Muppet Babies because these yeah, right. Well, these little baby Muppets were in this like nursery, and but they would have these adventures like they were going all over the world, and everything, like a bed could become a ship or could become a plane or whatever. And so that's the kind of imagination that we're talking about. And so when you talk about like that foam that you had earlier from your TV and looking at this white piece of foam, and within a day, not only envisioning what you want that to look like for a dio, but then to paint it up and have it finished and have it on display ready to go. That's just amazing. So can you talk a little bit more about just kind of where that stuff come from and like when you see a figure or you see a part or something, like what goes through your brain about how to mix things together and what you could create with it?
Well, I always hear like, wow, you just spit these things out. But it's really, I'm 49 years old. It's really about thinking about this for 49 years.
Mhm.
I'm this kind of person. I'm always head in the clouds, thinking about an art piece, thinking about how to make stuff, thinking about how to make things work and come out. I'm always faced with a blank piece of paper or a blank anything. It doesn't matter if it helps when it's 3D. It's usually a blank piece of paper that I have to paint or draw 3D on. So I appreciate this. I appreciate an entire cosmic or mythic legion that did all the hard work for me. That's amazing.
Mhm.
That's what I like about digital art. Oh, you want some clouds? Cloud. So the blank piece of paper is really the hardship. So when you say, like I just spit that out because I've been thinking about uh, Star Wars bases and military bases and temples and pyramids and everything. I've been already thinking about that.
Mhm.
So when I see a piece of styrofoam, it's already telling me what it wants to be. It's like, look, that looks like a Mayan temple. And my girlfriend's like, okay. So, but she's the one that gave me the styrofoam. She goes, hey, you want this? Before that, she wouldn't throw it away or whatever.
Right.
So it's like, uh, when you look at the perfect piece or like a little plastic bottles and lids and little gribblies that you find everywhere, those are a godsend. I'm used to dealing with like a blank sheet of paper and just whatever I'm regurgitating from whatever content I took in.
No, it's a good point because I mean, it's like you're right. All of our experiences and knowledge over the years is what kind of builds up our brains and our imagination. So, I may look at a cloud and my wife tells me it looks like some flowers or something, and I look at it and go, "No, that's clearly Starscream." You know,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I
saying.
know.
So I see what you're saying. Like you look at the foam and all of this stuff that you've taken in over the years goes in there and you're like, oh well, this little part of the foam looks like a door and this could be like some sort of power conduit or whatever.
Yep. It was funny because I'm always that's all it's my girlfriend just said this is a sickness. And I agree. This is like not a malfunctioning brain, but not a normal brain where you see things and everything. Like
Right.
clouds to me look like my parents fighting. But we were walking through shot a swap meet and I saw a half of the Millennium Falcon, like 2 aisles down. It was an
Yeah.
open air swap meet. It was in a bunch of junk. It was a broken Millennium Falcon. And I was like, hey, let's check that out. And we walked over there and she was like, how the heck did you see this? I go, well, all of this looks like Millennium Falcon to me. So I just happened to be right this one time. It's a Rorschach test everywhere.
Gotcha. Cool.
Well, I mean, dare we use a famous quote from Michelangelo about sculpting and styrofoam that every
Whoa,
block
dude.
of stone has a statue inside of it. It's up to the artist or the sculptor to set it free.
It's true.
For us, it's foam or
Yeah.
resin or whatever we work with. I was trying to remember that exact quote and who said it. So thank you, Google, for helping me find that.
Oh well, I didn't know that quote, but I do know the joke from What About Bob when he's talking about the patient that's taking the ink blot test with his doctor, and he shows him the first one. The patient says he sees sex. Shows him the second one. He says sex. Third one, sex. Eventually the doctor goes, I think you're obsessed with sex. And the patient says, well, you're the one with all the dirty pictures.
Yeah, I love that joke. You're the one showing me this.
Yeah.
I love that.
So
True.
it's
That
whatever we
doctor
see in
got
it.
a malpractice suit.
There you go. So any other, can we pull back up his Instagram and just take a look at some more of his work? Because I know
I was going to say, if you want to talk about specs, baby.
Yeah. So you've done a lot of these like flight shots and stuff with the Scorpions. Can you talk to us a little bit about the like with these? You've got it to where, especially that last picture, it looks like there's multiple wings. Like you've got them flapping, and it like Okay, so tell us what goes into like a shot like this.
Okay, so what happened was I have that display diorama, right?
Yep.
So then I take a figure and I'm holding my phone on it and I just go snap, snap. So my figure and my phone are moving at the same time where the background is not.
Gotcha.
So that's how you get that effect. They're all still figures with my fingers up on it. So if you could look below him, you can see my hand where I blurred it out. It just looks different than the background.
Gotcha.
Every time you see the bottom of it, it just looks different than the background. A little bit different. So I try to mesh it up, you know, take my hand out of there. Or sometimes it's just a rod. It's usually my hand though. So then, see, like that time it was a rod. See that rod? Those came with the Joy Toy towel.
Gotcha.
That's what I was using the Sphexians before as the towel bug mercenaries they use. I was like, I'm only going to buy these 3 Cosmic Legions, and that's it.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
So,
Right.
Yeah. So that didn't happen. So then these Sphexians, right, with the extra wings, what I did was I copy pasted just the wings and I overlaid them and I did a blurring motion on it from the Procreate app. All these lasers and smoke and everything is Procreate app. So that's what I did. I copy pasted their own wings over them, and then I just blurred the top layer wings. As you can see, the under wings are not flapping, and that's laziness under my part. I've just told myself, hey, the frame's gonna capture them wings perfectly sometime. Stutter,
Yeah.
you know.
Gotcha.
So that's it, dude. That's what's happening there.
We
The
do
guy
have a
one time
request
got a
here.
picture of a helicopter
Yeah,
in
my 21st century
mid-flight
toys.
with
Yeah,
the
we've got
propeller was just frozen still.
Yeah.
I know. Sorry.
We've got a request from LeBron. He is asking to show the rusted tank with the graffiti and happy face.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly where that is in here.
Well, it's right here.
Oh, there you go. Well, it's just embiggen you.
Okay.
I'm in biggin.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's dusty. Ah, that went right in my drink.
So all of this is free-handed, correct?
Okay, let me say something.
Yeah.
I bought the tank. I rusted it out. Then I went out to the Las Vegas streets, and we have a lot of graffiti down here downtown. So I went to like where the graffiti guys hang out, and I'm like, hey man, hit me up. You want to hit me up? So these are all like real dudes.
Oh, wow.
Real criminals. I mean, artists that are out there, and they were like so accommodating. Doc is a famous one. Look him up. So I couldn't find, you know, that's awesome. I could never do that, and I could never do this guy.
So you got actual graffiti artists to graffiti.
Right? Yeah, to go as much as they can.
Wow.
And then the parts that weren't filled up because I couldn't find that many, and some people were like, "Fuck away from me, fool." I did it myself. Like this dork was me. This word was me. I say word a lot. So little throw ups like that, I just faked them. This doesn't say anything. I was just like, graffiti. And I just faked that. Graffiti. So I just like filled it up with nonsense. This is nonsense. I put Fury right here because Brad Pitt.
Okay.
So yeah, dude, I don't know why I did this because it's hard to find
that dock in the front looks awesome.
Toys. But like I said, man, this cunt is a real guy. So this is not profanity. This is a real guy.
All right.
I put okay because I was like, cunt, okay.
I like the front of the tank where that Doc is going like across.
Doc is a real dude, man. He's old school too. Look how old school that looks.
That's cool.
That looks like Electric Boogaloo.
So you
like the trains that go by my house.
Yeah. So tell me about the conversations that you have with these guys. So you walk downtown, you've got this toy tank with you, and you're going up to these guys, and normally I'm guessing they're probably a little skittish because they don't want to get in trouble with the cops or whatever.
That is true. I have to respect their privacy.
Yeah.
But they do want their RN names to be seen. So that's all fair game. I was like, dude, I'm an artist. I don't want any toy shit. That's what it's ironically, bad graffiti is called toys. bad graffiti artist. If you're a toy, you suck, man.
Oh,
you're a
wow.
wannabe.
Okay.
Poser. So ironically, I was like, will you untoy my toy? So I had to, I was like, and also look at this picture right here, this Star Wars. I was like, I want you to be that big. Pretend you're this big and you're climbing on this tank and you're doing a big piece. So that's what they did because they're artists. They understand that.
And did you have like paint and markers or what? Like, because I mean, normally you're using spray paint, right?
Yeah, they had it. Well, they had paint markers with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
that's
they
awesome.
hit the city bus, then they hit my tank.
That's really cool.
I love it, dude. It came out so perfect. And those Joy Toy Wasteland figures are so perfect. And I put dude, I'm a huge fan of Hasbro heads on third-party or indie figures. It works so good. And what's weird about Cosmic Legions is I started putting Cosmic Legion heads on Star Wars classic bodies, which is, I never thought about that now. The circle is now complete.
I just love the idea that you had to go down and talk to them and do that. And then the amount of work that went into that. That's cool.
You know how I got this idea? Okay. I have another comic book about the human immune system called Germs. That's also on Instagram. It's called Germs Comics. Germs with a Z. So it's about the human immune system, and the white blood cells are like an army of stormtroopers, and they're fighting aliens and monsters invading the human body all the time. I've been doing this since 2000, okay? So when I made the first comic book back in 2000, 2001, I was hanging out with a lot of graffiti artists here in Vegas, and I was like, you know what? I'm drawing this comic book right now. Wouldn't it be cool if the flu virus were tagging all the inside of the human body where the graffiti would be the signs of infection? So all those actual Vegas graffiti artists bombed my comic book and, little all over like the ventricles of the human body. It's still in that flu episode or issue. And I was like, that's so awesome that the flu is just in there bombing the inside of the human body, and that's the infection, and the white blood cells got to go take care of that.
That is very cool.
So I was like, I want this tank to have the same thing. I'm going to go out again. But this time I didn't know anybody. I was just like, hello, graffiti artist. Pull up on them like the cops. Just kidding.
Your imagination and energy is like infectious, dude. I love this. It's
1,000%.
Dude, that truck down there. Oh yeah, that is such a sick. That truck down there with the
on the right.
Yeah, the rockets firing. That's an Indiana Jones truck from the toys from Hasbro.
Nice.
Oh wow.
So then I was looking, like I said, I'm big into like miniatures and stuff. I was looking at models, and they like during Vietnam, the guys that had to travel through the jungles like souped up these big tanks. That they armored them up. They would steal stuff from other armies and just make these fortresses of tanks to go through the rough parts of Vietnam. So that was the inspiration for this. I was like, yeah, acid rain, tough terrain vehicle.
Oh, I love the barrel at the front of it. That's cool.
Yeah, that's the Bucks team barrel. And it's water. My brother was making fun of me. He's like, you're shielding yourself with your gas tank? But that's water. So I had to put a W on it.
It totally looks like one of those vehicles that they put together in like zombie movies where they just like attach all these metal and spikes and everything else to it.
Yes.
Well, this is the A-Team van at the end of the post-apocalyptic episode.
The Fury Road, when they get attacked by those dudes with the spiky butt, I was like, yes, dude. That changed my life again.
That's a great movie.
So,
thanks, Jeremy. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Brick. You guys are awesome.
Go to that speeder.
Oh, yeah. Han Solo speeder in my backyard. It's been there for 30 years. Or more, 50 years.
It looks like it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, look at that. It's so cool. Oh, whatever. So, I can take myself out of my shit and just look at it like I'm looking at somebody else's work.
When I growing up, my stepdad's house was right next to a cattle farm, and sometimes I would just go on the weekends. I would just go exploring down and through like the woods and all the overgrowth. And there was like some sort of Volkswagen car or something down in this one area. There was like this little path that cows didn't go through there. But this looks exactly like that, except a sci-fi speeder. Just like
I totally stole this situation from real life. Lots of old military vehicles are discovered in Europe like this, and in Asia all the time. And I'm like, hell yeah.
That's great.
Cool.
There's my frozen blades. It's just because that camera's so fast. Got it.
Yeah, it can happen.
That shows you how fast those bullets are.
I believe Trevor calls that shutter speed. So there you go.
Shutter stuff.
Yeah, you got great shutter speed.
Now I'm just thinking someone was talking about someone like, is it worthwhile to have an ejector seat on a helicopter? And the person they were talking to was not processing. Yeah, it'd be a great idea if you're going down. They're like, really? An ejector seat on a helicopter?
It's got to be measured like
the side.
It's got to be measured like the World War I.
They said that. Yeah.
Sweet. I mean, cool, right? It's a custom, like kit bash Anakin's engines on a tiny Y-wing Star Wars thing. And again, it's that same situation where I'm panning with the camera and holding that thing still and blurring my hand underneath. If you can, I mean, I do a pretty good job of covering it, but that's what's going on down there. If like some VFX
don't take this the wrong way. I'm going to compare it to a movie scene that I absolutely love. I know a lot of people don't like this movie. This reminds me of the scene in Avatar when like the first Avatar, when like the banshees are coming out of the sky, and then Korra is like, free fire, and they're like the ships just start moving, and like just the trails from all their ships.
Yeah, I love that attention to detail, dude.
I'm hearing the sound effects and just seeing this picture.
Yeah, the fact that you can see it move and hear it, I want to recreate Star Wars. You asked for it. That's awesome. So messed up, dude. I'm a big World War II buff. I know everything about World War II, and that is so wrong. I'm telling you right now.
Because they would do that. They would write messages on the bombs, right?
Yeah. This one's for you, Mr. Hitler.
Oh, this is great. Oh, what are those Terminators with?
Yeah, Terminators.
Are those?
And I used them
are those like Mythic Legion wing pegs adapters?
Yeah, totally. Oh my god, I didn't think anybody would catch me on that, but of course, I'm on this show.
That's awesome.
Oh man, that is.
So I had a billion of those. So
I would have never thought
that the Baroness
to use a wing adapter for a head. That is awesome.
Oh my gosh.
You caught me.
It's not even that they're that. I have moments of whatever.
Pretty chappy looking.
Savantish. Yeah, I loved. You said Chappie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Same. Because of the artwork. Everything to me is art based,
I have looked at those wing adapters a million times, and it was like, someday I'm going to figure out something to do with these. I never would have thought to use it as a head.
Somebody made an entire figure out of those. I don't know if you saw that now, but you can Google it right now.
I got a whole box.
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. And I only use 2.
No, it's just one of those things, like the visual of that shape is just so ingrained into my head for some reason. Like it took me, I wasn't sure. I was certain you were going to say, like, no, it's something else.
No, it felt lightning speed to me. You're like, hey, look at
that. But yeah, that's such a cool use for those. Because I was just noticing how large the body was compared to the Joes, and I thought that was cool. And then I was like, wait, is that an adapter?
And more importantly, it's not the Terminator skull, which is a dead giveaway. I didn't modify the body at all. A dead, it's like, it's the Terminators. But I painted them black, and I gave them the red for you know, a Destro's personal, like his collar looking thing. So those are just his personal bodyguards.
That's
So
awesome.
LeBron's the
Hey,
one
look,
who did
Eric
the
LeBron did
adapter
that.
figure.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so cool. See that see, my brain does that. You saw the Millennium Falcon, and like I see things like that. Like it didn't, like I didn't think Terminator when I saw the figure. I just knew the shape. Like that, especially being so much larger than the humans, as is really cool.
Go to that one up a little bit on the left there in the middle. What do we got going on here?
Maybe on the left.
Those are Joy Toy figures. I bought a bunch of cop-looking ladies. They're like Kim Jong-il's homies or whatever. And I put them all up there together on that styrofoam set. That's another just packaged styrofoam set. And as you can see how it's all eaten out.
Yeah.
So that's all spray can right on there. It's bare styrofoam.
Oh.
You put the can very close. You melt it away. It looks like ripped.
Yeah, it looked like the whole thing like melted, like there was a building fire or something.
Yeah, like dude,
oh,
like
that's
all
so
out.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's again Germany in World War II. You know, Dresden and whatnot. It looked horrific, and I love that stuff. So I painted it all black after that, then dry brushed it with whatever colors you need to make it look concrete.
See, normally you don't use like aerosols on that kind of stuff because it'll melt, but in this case it works and it makes it look amazing.
You have to do it. Everything you do, you have to do it on purpose.
Yeah.
Unless it's a happy accident like Bob Ross. But you don't know you're doing that when you're working.
Yeah, because this could be like, you know, some sort of like laser, like cut through the building and just like
I know, right?
Through all the
That's
concrete and
badass.
steel
Like
or
the
whatever. Yeah.
Like the 8th MS team laser, just big.
Yeah.
Big. And the ramen is pretty. The ramen sign's pretty robust to survive that.
Yeah.
But
I figured they slapped that up after the word.
Yeah, they totally did.
Yeah, I mean, but like if this was a dio that you were purchasing, I mean, this would be, you know, a couple $100, and instead you get, you know, some foam and you spray it and then you paint it and it's like
easy peasy,
free fitting,
and I could throw it away. I'm a huge fan of being able to move at any time. I rent, you know, month to month. So, and I'm a Vegas person, so this all has to be, you know, tentative.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm always looking at stuff like.
So if you're ready to move all the time, what you're saying is that what's in Vegas doesn't necessarily have to stay in Vegas.
Exactly right. And also, I mean, I've been here since 1979, so I don't know if I'm moving. But I don't know, man. That's just the way I like to do it. I don't want to, like, you know, build a foundation.
Gotcha.
I don't know why.
Okay. These are so cool.
There's just so much, like the background, the intricate like details and stuff. It's so much work. Like,
and
go ahead.
Who's this?
And I learned those at different times. I learned the styrofoam. This is all my past experience put together. So I used to learn how to do terrains for wargaming purposes. Then I learned a styrofoam backdrop from trial and error. And then I learned all those different paint techniques from YouTube videos. So this is all like a culmination of years of trial and error and seeing what I do want. I went through shelves. I went through just, you know, cheap Walmart furnishings. And now I have it down where it's just a display shelf. Done up with terrain, and then I can showcase all my figures on it.
Very cool.
They're in a trench. I made sure the shelf that they're all on was terrain, you know, because I want these photos to look like World War II photos, World War I. I don't know why I'm infatuated with war.
It's like I see this. Go ahead. Sorry.
When I was in 10th grade, they gave us World War II in school. So I'm like impressionable, and I'm like, oh my God, look at this. I can't believe this happened. And at home, I'm watching Star Wars. At school, I'm watching World War II. It was just a double.
Melded together, huh?
Yeah, now I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And G.I. Joe.
Well, I love like you have. I mean, clearly some of the figures are clearly Baroness, you know, Destro, that sort of thing.
Right.
But like mixing the Star Wars helmets in, like I recognize that it's a Star Wars thing, but like it feels unique to whatever this story is that this shelf is telling.
Yeah.
Like
Whatever it is, I feel the
it's
same
crazy
way.
how you can mix
all
these
mixing
things
G.I.
together.
Joe
Like,
and Star Wars, but it works. Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
think I owe that to Kit Lau. Kit Lau, Google him. He's the artist responsible for Acid Rain. And he was inspired by Star Wars, G.I. Joe, and Transformers. So that's why I could mesh all of this Hasbro stuff. It is Hasbro stuff. Just happens to be a guy from the other side of the world. That's just like us.
but it work. You know, you get some people like refuse to mix toy lines on their shelves.
Why make rules? Isn't a world full of rules?
Right. But like in the way you're doing it, you can have clearly recognizable things mixed into where they take on their own personality. And it just works. Like those Mandalorians and clone helmets just work in this terrain without making me think, oh, that's the armor. I mean, story wise.
Right.
It's all right. Well, what's that character story?
Yeah. And it's because we have those 1-1 helmets in real life. So who's to say those dudes aren't us in 100 years? We're wearing those helmets that they got in Toys R Us and whatever.
Yeah, Eric here says Sig makes mixing lines look so fluid. I 100% agree. So
thank you so much. It's because after I mix them, I make sure they match. And after I mix them, whatever paint schemes I do to marry them, they're all under the same wash and all under the same weathering. If you throw dirt on a guy, it's gonna match no matter what's going on. This is so crazy. This guy just comes through the gate, starts blasting full his mother wolf style.
Yeah.
That's where I got that. I'm like, oh, I love that lady.
Some of the only figures I think that don't fit are when you get like the really like anime looking faces. Like
when
the
it's
more
cartoonish,
when it's more like the manga cartoony look next to something like this. And that's just my own taste, but like not saying you can't do it, but like this, everything just like you were saying about doing your wash and the different treatments, so they all look like they're in the same environment or, you know, exist in the same type of atmosphere and stuff is just like, I mean, like, look at this one.
And also anything Acid Rain I do that's heavily weathered, I use the dramatic warm filter. Works wonders for this weathered post-apocalyptic look.
Okay, so that's the red that helmet I know from Star Wars. What is that? Is that a Joy Toy body?
That's a Joy Toy armored figure. And here's his original helmet. And I just thought that other helmet was way better. Way better.
Yeah. I love that helmet in Star Wars because like they talk about no one's ever seen him without it on. So they don't know if his head is like shaped to those fins or if it's a human under there.
You know, to me, those
just seeing it on a body like that.
Yeah. He's got a jetpack. So to me, those fins help him fly like the top fin on the Rocketeer. It's some air manta guy.
Oh, you just said the magic word, man. You say Rocketeer and Jesse's all in.
I love it.
Yeah. Where's the rocket?
I love all of those Hasbro. This is a group photo of all the examples of Hasbro heads on Joy Toy figures. I was really trying to push that.
Yeah, because there's the Solo Mud Trooper.
I didn't do anything to any of these. I popped and swapped.
Yeah. But like, they feel like their own character. Like, even though I'm calling out these names, like they feel like their own because the bodies are so different.
Dude, I'm with you. I saw it and I was like, done. And this is cool too. Dark Padme and freaking Vader, like as a married couple, as ambassador, they're like coming through the Stargate.
Oh my god.
We're like, we're the royal family. We're in charge of this now.
That's awesome.
Dude, I love that you've got this Stargate in here and you can literally push
Anybody.
anything into this setting. Yeah.
That's the reason why I bought it. So it gave me an excuse to buy anything. You know, we're always looking for excuses. I was like, what about a Stargate? Anything can happen at any time.
The aliens.
We did have a question on here from Nate Strong.
Oh, sorry.
Asking if you are going to Legion's Con this year.
I'm not. I wish I was, man. I'm not. Sorry. I wish I was. You guys are my people.
Well, we hope to see you there next year or in future.
I'm gonna try, dude.
It's really fun.
Yeah, I know. I keep hearing it. I want that lobby action.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that.
I want this.
I love that bit. That was like, I don't know, man. I don't know why I did this, but this is the last dinosaur I ever customed, and after I changed from Mythic Legions to 1/18 scale, and I was like, would a dinosaur work if a guy wrote it? And then I was like, you know, that's an awfully big head shield that Pentaceratops has.
Yeah.
Because it's got 5 horns, not 3, so that's why it's a Pentasaur. Pentaceratops. So I was like, if I just fill the top from the body all the way to the top of that shield where people could look over, and it'll be like chuck wagon, camel, beast of burden type of, you know, post-apocalyptic Mad Max situation. I think we got some going for it. So
it's
I put
like,
the
like everything for a whole community on his back.
Yeah,
with pots and pans. I put a bunch
you got
of
your
random
water
stuff.
jug on the back.
I had to sacrifice a lot of you know, parts for this little piece. That's Anakin's pod racer as that saddle there.
That's
oh my
awesome.
gosh.
I think that's the best part. I'm like, they threw a chassis on this poor animal.
Oh my gosh.
Just the creativity with this stuff is great.
Thank you, but you know, we've all seen this before. We've seen Mad Max. We've seen Banthas. We've seen burros. You know, it's all out there. Yeah, you just have, you know, I don't know.
Alberto says that is a byproduct of growing up broke. You play with what little you have, and you find ways to make the same toy feel different and playable next time you pick it up.
Exactly right, dude. I used to have Hot Wheels, right? And I was such a Transformers fan. I used to go and stand them up and walk with my Hot Wheels. I couldn't afford Transformers. Like, this is Optimus Prime, I promise.
So
what do we got going on here?
That is a Joy Toy Fear 4 mech, and it's one of the best, in my opinion, mechs that they offer. He's got like this mesh camouflage tarp, like a ghillie suit or whatever, and it had a Michael Bay Transformer looking head, which is all right. It served the purpose. But I never liked that about it. I was like, man, this is like a 99% perfect robot. So I was looking at one of my probe droids, and I was going to get rid of it for some reason. But I was like, this is like my favorite thing in my life. Why am I getting rid of it? And then I took it apart, and I was putting it all over my diorama, trying to find parts for the legs array, which I ended up putting it on the back of this crab droid thing. And that was left over, so I was like, dude, I'm gonna make an AWAC sniper mech. That makes so much sense. You know, he's like AWAC, whoop, boop, boop. He could like sniper people from other cities or whatever.
That's funny.
That's so cool.
It was way better than the Michael Bay head.
Yeah, that head looks so cool on that body.
Dude,
that gun, good grief.
That's
going through you.
So obviously we've seen a lot of this in, you know, your collection behind you and stuff. Do you do any work, whether it's commissions, or do you sell any of your stuff that you've created?
I rotate stuff because I'm always like jumping from things to things. So I sold all my Transformers sold all of my Predator and Aliens collection. I sold my models, and I sold all of my Joy toys. So now I'm just focusing on Acid Rain and Cosmic Legions right now.
Okay.
But as far as commissions, I've never been approached, and I don't offer. I just make stuff for me, and when I'm done with it, I will rotate it out.
Yeah.
So there's people out there with all the previous customs that I mentioned from Mythic Legions and whatnot.
Yeah, wow. That seems to be the best way to do it, because then you can create the stuff you want to create, and then later on, if you want to get rid of it, somebody wants it, that's fine. But you're not having to force yourself to make something you don't feel like making.
Right. Like I really dislike being paid for artwork, even though that's my whole function in life.
Yeah.
But when someone's like, I give you this for that, I'm like, ew. This is the last thing I want to do.
Yeah, don't dirty up my fun.
It's terrible. Anti-survival.
Yeah.
But it always makes you feel that way. My comic book, that's why my comic book has taken so long. Gotcha. I'm like, man. But I'm gonna finish it.
I don't know what's going on with my eyes. Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're fine. So we're coming up to the 2-hour mark, which is usually about our stopping point. But
it's crazy that we're going to 3 hours today.
Well, we can keep going if you want. But is there anywhere where people can see your work? Do you have any shows coming up, or do you have any?
I'll be right back.
I know with your comic book, is there anything that people should be looking forward to?
My comic book, We Kill Evil Robots, is an ongoing process, and I always post stuff all the time just to generate a buzz. But that will be coming out I project around the early New Year.
Okay.
And don't tell my brother that I told him spring. He's a writer. He's an awesome writer. It's a sweet story. It's really, really cool. I could not do it without him, because I'm all about the glitz and flashy glamour part. He's got the soul and the narrative around that. Those two girls are 360-degree characters. It's really awesome. So We Kill Evil Robots is a great place. Area 42.
Is that going to be like a Kickstarter format, or is it going to be in stores, or where can?
No, we're just going to do it. We're just going to do it and print a stack and hit the Comic-Con circuit.
Okay.
We're going to put it online for obvious, sales and shipping and all that. That'll be available. But we're not doing any funding, Okay. We're doing it so it exists.
Gotcha. But we'll be able to see it, like if we're following you on Instagram or whatever, we'll be able to see when it comes out and have details on where to get it.
Definitely. It'll be available to anybody who wants it. It's going to get it. Okay. We're just not funded and widely distributed unless something happens at a Comic-Con. We just want to do it because we're middle-aged men, and we have to do it before we die.
There you go. All right.
Oh, and also I'm at my general artwork page is Sigbot, SIG.BOT. That's all of my general artwork. I do murals and logos and concepts. Like I made this Save Ash Meadows thing. I do. I'm just like a artist for hire, and I think that's it. My YouTube channel is Sig Talks TV. It's like a play on We Talk TV from Transformers. And those are just random videos about the videos that I take of my process. I've put a lot of dioramas on there, customs.
Okay. So like a behind the scenes kind of thing, like talking to people how you did it, or?
No, it's not really technical. I just show photos of the progress. Gotcha. I'm not very savvy on the AV department.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Well, Jesse, did you have anything else that you wanted to ask? Any other things that we wanted to bring up?
I mean, my brain's just real. Like, I want to go. I mean, I would probably die immediately if I lived in the world of this display. Like, I want to think. I'd be like,
yeah.
I'd be able to handle it. Nah, I'd like step on the wrong thing and, a mine, or walk in front of that dinosaur marching through the gate or whatever. I would not last long. So I'm just, my mind is just so caught up in the world of this shelf. So, yeah, I'm having trouble staying focused at this point.
So you would get shot on his shelf. Is that what you're saying?
Dude,
Yes.
I love that. I love that you're saying that, because that's the exact same sentiment I got from studying World War II. I'm like, this happened? I don't know where the heck I would be. My dad used it when me and my dad would watch war movies and our heck was breaking loose. He'd go, I'd be that dude in the back. I'd be like laying down in the back. Like when you see like Troy, you'd see all them gladiators running towards the border. You go, I'd be in the back, laying down. I just can't believe all that stuff happened. So that's what makes me recreate these things. I'm like, wow.
I'd be one of two people from Saving Private Ryan. I'd either be the guy walking around and finds his arm laying on the ground and just like walking away,
Totally.
or I'd be the guy like laying there with my guts coming out, like screaming for my mom.
Mama!
Like, I'd be one of those two guys.
I do not want to be that guy.
I don't want to be that guy. Like I want to think.
Down and the fire breaks up.
Yeah, like I want to think I'd be the guy that like chucks the grenade in the bunker, or the sniper, reciting his prayers or whatever. No, like everybody talks about like, oh yeah, this zombie apocalypse. I do this, I'd go there. I'm like, yeah, you talk about a zombie apocalypse because no one's ever gonna have to survive that.
What up, Zeus? Yeah, it's all luck.
Yeah.
I would probably be like Bill Murray's character from Stripes, where he's like, hey, if we ever see any really serious combat, I just want to let you guys know I'll be behind you all the way.
I got your back.
Yeah. I'll be in the back.
It's crazy, dude. I've studied and still do so many of those situations from ancient times, like war. Like I've so many different documentaries out there about situations and wars, and I'm like, mind blown every time. I don't know how you guys do it. Just don't. That's why I'm infatuated with it, and that's why my displays look like the way they do. They're all soldiers. They're all in a unit. They all have a job to do. They've all trained as hard as they could, focused to do this one thing, and that's die, because it's luck. If you survive, you get that guilt, and I'm just fascinated with that. I don't have any mailmen here. No, no doctors.
You are the
medics.
Brute Squad.
Close as I got, yeah.
You are the Brute Squad.
We are the Brute Squad.
There you go.
Warmest regards.
There you go. Well, Sig, it has been amazing having you on. Like, just mind-blowing the amount of creativity and energy that you have. I hope that we've introduced a few new people to you tonight, and that they, follow you and kind of see your work, because it's just awesome, and look forward to seeing as much of it as we can in the Cabal, and hopefully next year or maybe the year after see you at Legions Con would be awesome.
I gotta go now that it seems like a must.
You Vegas crew need to like rent like a bus or a party van or something.
I know. We're used to people
and all road trip out to New Jersey for it.
Because we had Connexus on a couple weeks ago. He was in Vegas too, right?
Yeah, he lives here.
Yeah,
he's right here.
Joe's not too far away, right?
I'm not sure.
He's up north, I believe.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I think, I don't know. Beautiful. I think he's way more up north.
Very cool.
Well, we really appreciate having you.
Fun. Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a great
time. It's a fun hobby. I love Mythic Legions. I love Cosmic Legions. I love all of you guys in the Cabal. Post your stuff. I'm a total maniac for it. I'm sure you're sick of me at some point, but I'm hyper as hell. I'm horny for
it. Awesome. Well, we appreciate it. We're going to put you in the back room. If you've got to go, that's fine. If not, hang out. We'll talk to you in a second as soon as we close out the show. And we'll close it out and be right back with you.
Sweet.
All right. Thanks, man. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, Big.
Yeah.
Bye.
Another really fun episode with just a great talent. Really enjoyed that.
I'm going to have a hard time shutting my brain off to go to sleep tonight just thinking about this shelf.
Just the way that he sees things, and just like You
Yeah.
know, like I look at a Star Wars figure and I see Star Wars, and I look at G.I. Joe and I see G.I. Joe, and he just looks at this stuff and sees stuff and how it could work together and mix and match. And yeah,
Yeah.
really awesome.
I'm like, I feel like I've gotten some creative stuff like, oh, I'll use this part here, this part there. Like with Cosmic, it's like, oh, I can get weird with it. Like I can do
Yeah.
stuff that I couldn't do with Mythics in that way, you know, with like the tech bits and everything. So like he's got the air conditioner unit in the chest of that Cthulhu guy and
Yeah, that
stuff.
was, I
So
wouldn't have thought that. Yeah, it's a
that's great.
miniature
I mean,
air conditioner in the chest piece of
yeah.
a Sentry.
So there you go, folks. For we're gonna cycle this right back to the contest. The painted up thing, like you, especially with Cosmic, even with Mythic, you can do whatever you want. Try it. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, maybe it'll inspire someone to do something different. Like give it a shot. So that's the whole point of this painted up contest, is put some paint on it.
Yep.
Get in there, get a brush, try something. If you've painted before, try something different. Maybe try some color shift paints or glow in the dark stuff that you've not done. If you've painted, like try something different.
Yep.
Or like Curtis said, do some rivets, just test something out, see what you can do, and post up in the Cabal.
And before you leave, once again, please, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. It really helps, towards us getting to 500. We'd like to do another giveaway at 500. So, it helps us as we do these kind of things. And, with this contest, we're just looking for a lot of interaction. Like I said, whether you're an experienced painter, whether you've never painted before, this is an opportunity to, have a really easy entry and have a chance at getting some really great prizes. So, and we think this will be a fun period. The Ox Crew order just ended 11 minutes ago. And, this will fill that gap until we get some next awesomeness from Four Horsemen. So let's just fill the Cabal with creativity and fun and get some people customizing.
Yeah. Because as fun as it is, like, I mean, obviously we're all here for the Horseman figures. That's why we're in the Cabal. But the Cabal really thrives on the creativity of the community and, the sharing and the support and all that. So that's all we're trying to do here, is just encourage that, maybe like Gandalf, the situation with the dragon, he was barely involved. He just gave Bilbo the nudge out the door. Let this be that nudge out the door of your comfort zone, and grab a paintbrush and do something, and just have fun with it. Like that's the main thing. Like, don't worry about it being perfect. Just have fun. Have fun playing with your toys.
And be on the lookout tomorrow for that post from Jesse, as well as I'll be posting, throughout the contest, all the different prize packages. We've already shown the first 5, and I'll continue to show one each day until we run out of prize packages. But that's not going to be anytime soon because there's a lot.
Yeah.
So
very cool. Well,
beautiful.
Folks, everyone in the chat that joined in that we didn't call out, thank you very much for being here. I'm not going to try to go back and catch all, but thanks for being here. If you're watching it on the replay, we really appreciate it. It's a really great time hanging out with everybody here and getting to talk to our guests. Remember, Legions Con's coming up 8 weeks. Grab your tickets if you haven't yet. If you can make it, it's definitely worth going. You get to hang out with all these folks, or a lot of these folks in the chat, in person. And speaking of folks at Legions Con and in the chat, next Sunday night, September 27th, or whatever that date is, I don't know what numbers are. 24th.
Yep.
Is Brian Lynn of Carver Customs. Brian's going to join us. We're going to talk about toys and stuff and creativity and dios and torches and all sorts of stuff. So make sure you come back next Sunday night for that on Shooting the Shelf with Brian Lynn, and make sure you hashtag paint it up in the Cabal with your either an early custom if you're a longtime person painting, or something new.
Yeah, and unlike some other shows that we do where we say it's every week, this show really is every week. So we will be here next Sunday as well as every other Sunday. Look forward to seeing you next week. And until then,
what's on your shelf?